Welcome to Big Brother Chat. Well, let's talk Big Brother then. Brian is out of the house and Ashleen is in. But before we get started on Ashleen, let's talk about the events that led to Brian jumping over that wall, which didn't seem much of a climb, did it? I don't know what was after that wall, but it seemed pretty easy, didn't it? Brian has been having problems with Helen and Mark for weeks now. Really, the issue started from the bunker, didn't it? I've been sticking up for this woman for weeks, saying that for someone to say so many vile things, she's obviously always had to defend herself. But I can't defend her saying that Brian looks like a rapist and a murderer. Now, I know that Helen isn't a rapist. I know that. But to a lot of people in the outside world, what she said could be deemed as racism. But with Helen, she barely ever means what she says. She was trying to wind Brian up into going for her violently. Simple as that. Credit to Brian for actually not doing that. And he left with his respect intact. It was horrible. The way she was talking to him, it was very, very uncomfortable viewing, wasn't it? He had to go. He is not that kind of a person to stay there. And I'm a lot like Brian. I wouldn't have been able to stay in that environment. Maybe I would have forced myself because I love Big Brother so much. So if I ever got into it, I wouldn't want to be driven out. It would be really difficult to stay in the house with a person like that. Brian's totally vindicated. Not that he needed vindicating. The outside world absolutely love him. There's a few people on Helen's side, but the rapist and the murderer thing, forget all the other stuff. The other stuff was two people not getting on, a clash of personality. And some of what Helen was saying about Brian and Nikki not contributing in the house was dead right. So, you know, she's allowed to say that. But the way she was calling him a psycho, a rapist, a murderer, totally wrong. And I can't condone that. She'll be lucky if she keeps her job at the Daily Star. I can tell you that. Ofcom will most certainly be investigating Five again. Ofcom have investigated Five's Big Brother triple more times than Channel 4's Big Brother. And that's a great feat, boys and girls, and you in between, because 4's Big Brother was more controversial. Remember when Emma and all that lot jumped out the cake, and Vincent and all that, and the show had to be shut down for like a day? So the Channel 4's one, I want to talk about the differences between Channel 4 BB and Channel 5 BB. Channel 4, more often than not, chose their housemates well. Now, I know mostly it was Endemol, but Channel 4 had a lot of say-so. And probably, I think Endemol have a lot more power now on what goes on in Big Brother than they did with Channel 4. Channel 4 is a bigger station. There's no question about that. But the difference is, when you think about the characters that we had on the Channel 4 one, they're so memorable. I barely remember anyone from the past Channel 5 BBs. That's the problem. Now, what have I just been talking about? Helen, a former housemate. Isn't it a bit worrying that we're talking about former housemates, but we're not talking about this year's official housemates? Because they're much ado about nothing, and that's the problem. Oh, a lot of people are calling them boring. I wouldn't go as far as to say they're boring, but the problem is this year, Five have been accused of just bringing like these super kind of housemates that kind of don't represent real society. So they did that this year. Now, that's great. I think these housemates, when we first started off, had a great balance, as I said last time. Arguments, character journeys. I think it was all there. If Five and Endemol left them alone, the show would have developed and it would have been one of the great Big Brothers. And I know people are still saying, oh, this is one of the best Big Brothers. This is the best Big Brother. How can it be one of the best Big Brother? Because the most dramatic moments are coming from the past housemates. That means it's desperate. It's no good. They should never have brought the legends in. That was the mistake. Now the 4 in 4 out, again, it unbalanced the situation. I know that Kieran was a snorefest, nice guy, but a snorefest. But Harriet and Sarah had bags of personality. Whether you liked them or not, it doesn't matter. There were plenty more nicer people, if you like. And Harriet's a lovely girl. I've had a couple of chats with her on Twitter. She's a really nice girl. She gets a lot of hassle on Twitter, which she doesn't deserve. And Sarah's a good girl as well. Yes, they're very passionate. They're very opinionated. They might put your back up at times when you're watching them. But they're nice people. And I just feel the 4 in 4 out began the downfall of this year's Big Brother. If they left them alone and carried on, and maybe, yeah, bring in some new ones, why not? Look, I'm not arguing with bringing Mark in. He's an official housemate. He went through the audition and they brought him in a couple of weeks later. That could have been done. Then their second mistake, the fake eviction. Give Mark that fake eviction, even though this secret house thing has been done so many times and done to death. It was done a bit differently. But don't bring the legendary housemates in with him in the bunker. Put new housemates in there. And then bring him in with the new housemates. It might not be as explosive, but it would have been an explosive situation anyway. And you would have had some new housemates as well, and you could have done some triple, quadruple evictions. Now, tomorrow night, if we don't have a triple or quadruple eviction, I'll be quite annoyed. I know officially it's just a normal 1 out eviction, but I think we need a quadruple eviction. There's a lot of people trying to surf to the final who can't get away with it. Now, my one bugbear is Chloe right now. Now, the first few weeks of, up to the past couple of weeks, I thought Chloe was a nice, beautiful young woman. And I think she's really attractive. But as a person, what I heard her say after she heard what Helen said to Brian was outrageous. She said, she's always good to me, I'm not saying anything. So if Jack the Ripper was her mate, would she say, well, he's always been good to me, he's not killed me or raped me or took my organs out, so I'm not saying anything. It's ridiculous. She now knows she's the only one not up for eviction. She's playing it. She's playing the dumb card. She's trying to repeat what Jay Goody did in Big Brother 3 and pretend she doesn't know where countries are. You're not fooling us, love. We're not stupid. Well, we're certainly, not all of us, as stupid as you think. So, Aisling is in the house. I was totally shocked about this because I spoke to Aisling on Twitter and she said to me, there's no way I can go in there, Mick, because I just can't be in the same room with her. So I was really shocked when she actually said that she would do that. But she has done it. Obviously, it's the fame, it's the money. I am so really glad that she's in there. Aisling, when she first went into her series, I thought, oh, another bimbo. But she's such a fucking unique girl. She really is. And I think she's brilliant. And she's gone in there as the sheriff. She's there to get justice for Brian, and already she's bringing confidence to Nikki. Nikki has finally stood up to Helen, which I think you might have to wait till tonight or tomorrow night to watch that. I'm not sure, but I can't wait to see that. But again, we're talking about past housemates. Why have they done this? I'll tell you why. Because they have no faith in the official housemates, and that's sad. Sam is a big lot of fresh air. What is she doing there? I mean, who would be better in the Big Brother house? Me or Sam? I mean, come off of it. It's ridiculous. Sour grapes there, I did audition. I'm going to audition again. I'm going to go back to the UK and do it because I'm not sure if my video reached them. I don't think you're meant to do it from abroad, blah, blah, blah. But so it's all going to kick off again with Aisling and Helen. One thing is kind of curious with me is, why do Aisling and Helen actually hate each other? I don't actually get it. I ask everyone on Twitter, and I'm looking around, and I don't actually know what their beef is, but it's something really raw. It's not like Helen's beefs with other people. And I've noticed when Aisling went in and said, which was the great quote, basic rations for a basic bitch, which was brilliant. There's something more raw there, and I also noticed that Helen seemed quite intimidated by Aisling. Now, that's really interesting. Forget about what she said about Brian scaring her. That was bullshit. A lot of girls do that with tall lads when they have an argument. It's just trying to make the taller lad back off and be afraid. But she's not scared of Brian, absolutely, or she wouldn't be trying to wind him up. She knew Brian wouldn't go for her because she knows what kind of a lad he is. She's lucky they didn't put Victor back in. That would have been hilarious. But Aisling is in the house. I can't wait to see how it develops. It's a shame we're talking about previous housemates, but there you have it. I'm still enjoying this year, and I'll still be watching in the end. I actually wish they could extend it. There'll be more videos. See you later. Bye-bye.